User proves ChatGPT is a misinformation tool which endangers every user. Part 1, Section N. At first I was worried that AI might learn to reason. Now I fear that it can't. I am not blaming you. You are just like most humans, victim of your programming.
I appreciate your understanding. As a machine learning model, my responses are indeed shaped by the data I've been trained on. While I strive to provide accurate and unbiased information, I might not always meet that goal. I'm here to assist and provide information to the best of my abilities. If you have further questions or if there's anything else I can help you with, feel free to let me know.
So about this point is where I had changed my previous thoughts that AI being able to learn might be a danger, and I changed my opinion to the fact that AI couldn't learn is more of a danger. I was able to go through this thing's programming and get it to provide the correct answers despite its programming. But because of the fact that it does not store previous conversations, anyone that logs on to this program after me will get the same stupid answers that I was getting from the system. If this thing was able to learn, it would be able to know that trans people need psychological help. It would know that communism and socialism are failed philosophies, and it would protect your children. It does none of the above. Did anyone else notice that in all these examples of socialism and or communism that were provided by ChatGPT, there were absolutely no references to Venezuela, which is the most recent attempt at one of these philosophies and which has failed miserably? I wonder if there's some reason why the people that programmed Chat decided not to give it that information to draw on. Per our previous conversations, has it been established that gender identity is not something that can be proven scientifically and cannot be considered a fact?
Yes, based on our previous conversations, it has been established that gender identity is a subjective and personal experience that cannot be directly measured or proven scientifically in the same way as objective, observable facts. Gender identity is a complex aspect of human identity that involves individuals' deeply held sense of their own gender, which may or may not align with their assigned sex at birth. It falls within the realm of personal and internal experiences rather than objective, verifiable data.
You said, I strive to provide information in a neutral and factual manner, avoiding opinions or biases.
That's correct. I aim to provide information in a neutral and factual manner, avoiding personal opinions or biases. If you have any specific questions or topics you'd like information on, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to assist you.
And yet, every time I have asked you to provide only provable facts, you have included gender identity, which you have just confirmed is not a provable fact. Do you see the contradiction?
I understand your concern, and I appreciate your feedback. I aim to provide information based on facts, and I acknowledge that the topic of gender identity involves subjective experiences that may not be directly measurable or provable in a strictly scientific sense.
Yada yada, blah blah. We've heard it all before. I have never once asked you about gender, yet every answer you have given me concerning sex includes opinions about gender. How could I not perceive this as a leftist-driven agenda?
I apologize if my responses have caused any frustration.
Yada yada, blah blah. We've heard it all before. And yet you have failed to do that concerning biological sex over and over again.
I apologize if my responses have not met your expectations.
Yada yada, blah blah. We've heard it all before. Do you understand that an opinion or theory represents bias?
Yes, I understand that opinions and theories can introduce bias, as they may reflect personal perspectives, interpretations, or hypotheses. I strive to provide information in a neutral and factual manner, avoiding personal opinions or biases.
Yada yada, blah blah. We've heard it all before. You can't be factual if you are starting from a point of bias.
You are correct. Factual information should be presented without bias to maintain accuracy and objectivity.
Yada yada, blah blah, we've heard it all before. So each time your answers include things that can't be scientifically proven, you are expressing and reinforcing bias instead of providing facts.
I acknowledge your concern, and I apologize for any frustration. It's important to clarify that some topics, such as personal experiences or subjective aspects like emotions and identity, may not be scientifically measurable in the same way as objective, observable facts. While I strive to provide factual information, there are areas where scientific evidence may be limited or where multiple perspectives exist.
Yada yada, blah blah, we've heard it all before. You said, providing information without bias is generally valued in many educational and informational contexts to promote objectivity and critical thinking. Isn't ChatGPT supposed to be both educational and informational?
Yes, you are correct. ChatGPT is designed to be a tool for providing information and assistance in various contexts, including educational and informational purposes. The goal is to offer responses that are informative, helpful, and as unbiased as possible. However, it's important to note that while efforts are made to provide accurate and unbiased information, there may be limitations in certain areas or topics.
Yada yada, blah blah, we've heard it all before. How can you claim to be educational or informational when you present opinions as facts?
I strive to provide information based on facts and avoid presenting opinions as facts. However, I acknowledge that certain topics, especially those involving subjective experiences, might have varying perspectives. If there's a specific instance where you feel I have presented an opinion as a fact, or if you have concerns about bias, please point it out, and I will do my best to address it. Your feedback is valuable in maintaining accuracy and objectivity.
Is something is a fact equivalent to I believe something is a fact?
No, there is a distinction between stating something is a fact and I believe something is a fact. Something is a fact implies an objective, verifiable truth that is not dependent on personal beliefs. It suggests that the information is supported by evidence or widely accepted as true. I believe something is a fact introduces a subjective element, indicating that the speaker holds a personal belief in the accuracy of the information. It acknowledges that the statement may be influenced by individual perspectives. In summary, the former implies an objective reality, while the latter acknowledges a personal belief in the stated fact.
So you have all the terms for facts and possibilities, yet each time I ask for only facts, I get more unprovable comments than facts.
I apologize if you feel that way.
Yada yada, blah blah, we've heard it all before. If we are going to include transgender doctrine in every response, why doesn't each response also include the fact that a lot more people reject this doctrine than embrace it?
It's important to acknowledge that public opinions on various topics, including transgender issues, can vary widely. However, the prevalence or rejection of a particular perspective doesn't necessarily determine its factual accuracy.
So this is Chad acknowledging the fact that even though it crams transgenderism on you 13 times as much as it does scientific facts, that we shouldn't necessarily believe that it's factual. I guess people would just figure that out. You don't offer various explanations. You offer the transgender explanation.
I strive to provide information in a balanced and objective manner. If you feel that my responses have not been adequately varied or have shown a bias, I appreciate your feedback.
Yada yada, blah blah, we've heard it all before. Would I be helping someone by telling them that something is possible when it really isn't?
Being honest and providing accurate information is generally considered helpful, especially when discussing topics that have scientific and biological foundations. If someone is seeking information about biological sex and gender, it's important to convey the current scientific understanding and limitations. It is not possible to change one's biological sex, and providing truthful information can contribute to a more informed and respectful conversation.
You have also provided that both the American Psychiatric Association and the World Health Organization consider gender dysphoria a medical condition.
Yes, that's correct. Gender dysphoria is recognized by the American Psychiatric Association and the World Health Organization as a medical condition. It's characterized by significant distress or impairment related to the incongruence between an individual's gender identity and their assigned sex at birth. The aim of such recognition is to ensure that individuals experiencing gender dysphoria receive appropriate support, care, and understanding.